Hey everybody, this is Doc Mack from the Galloping Ghost Arcade out in Brookfield, Illinois. It is Monday, July 13th, 2015, and I am joined here by Pete Hahn.
Hey, what's going on, everyone?
And I figured it was about time to do another podcast. And well, definitely a lot of stuff to go over.
Yep, a lot of stuff coming up. A few things happened last weekend. A couple new things on the arcade floor.
Yeah. Most recently, our Primal Rage 2 cabinet got an upgrade.
Nice facelift.
Yes. When we first got that board, we were in a very big hurry to get it out on the floor and get people playing it and enjoying it and make sure that the board worked. And we just put it in a two-player fighting cabinet that we had. It was just like a generic dynamo.
Dynamo, yeah.
Yeah. But when we were getting it, we were researching the game quite a bit and had seen one picture of what the original prototype cabinet was supposed to look like.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a picture of the side art, and there was one picture of the control panel. And it was always the goal to get it into a midway cabinet, but it was just never really, we just never really had time. Oh, and obviously there's no artwork or anything out
Right.
there. So we had, and that was one of the first things when we had Chris Tang, who was one of the creators of it. We were fortunate enough to have him stop in, and he hadn't seen the game in 17 years, and he was loving it. But the one thing that he said to me, he's like, "Oh, I wish this wasn't a midway cabinet."
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, from that moment on, I was like, okay, we have to get this converted over and in a midway cabinet.
Then the incident happened.
Yes.
Which kind of boosted that along.
The dynamo cabinet that we had it in, we had taken it to a show, and what we refer to as the incident happened, where somebody spilled something on the cabinet, and just because it's a drawer cabinet, the board was right underneath the control panel, so that went right onto the board itself, and there was a little tense situation where we weren't sure if the board was going to be all right. And from that point on, it was like we got to get this out of here. Like,
mm-hmm.
This can't be in this cabinet, or it would have to be moved. And it's a one of a kind game. It's
literally,
there's supposed to be two boards in existence, and we've been entrusted to have it and let people still have access to it. So it was one that, for all these reasons, we wanted to get it into a more proper cabinet.
Yep.
The downside was that the prototype cabinet, there was only one picture taken of it and one picture taken of the control panel, and that was back in like 2001 at the California Extreme Show. And there's scouring the internet and asking Chris Tang, and there's no other pictures of this cabinet out there. So that was a big problem.
Yeah. Well, you did some Photoshop wizardry with that, right?
Yes.
Which made it look awesome.
We totally recreated the artwork from it. I had Brandon do a little bit of the repair work on the control panel, because the only picture of it still had all the buttons and stuff, and he worked on that and just using the heel brush in Photoshop and restored it, and it was a lot of work for that. For the side art, the picture that we had was shot on an angle,
Mm-hmm.
so there's a lot of image correcting, trying to get the perspective taken out and sized up to match it, and to take an image that small and blow it up into a full cabinet side art was tricky, but now it's on the floor.
I think it looks awesome. I think you did a great job.
Thank you.
You and Brandon did awesome.
It's I'm happy with it. There's always little things that I like working on it. You notice every little imperfection, but I feel much better about it. I'm happy the board is now very safe and very comfortable with that. So happy that that's in a new cabinet, and hope everybody enjoys it. And
Yeah, come on out and check out the new cabinet and check out the side art. We have also Chris Tang gave us an updated move list. One of the other pictures taken at California Extreme was of a move list taped to a wall or something.
Yes.
And Chris Tang gave us an updated one with not only just the avatars, but also the dinosaurs with all their moves and their official names. So it was awesome he gave us that. So we'll have that too if you wanted to take a look while playing the game.
Yeah, we've had that framed for a while, and we're going to get it displayed over the cabinet somehow, just so all of our Primal Rage 2 stuff is together and looking cool. And having stuff like that has been, again, knowing the developers and stuff has just been so awesome. Like getting something, it adds to the experience. Not just coming in and playing a game that maybe you never knew existed or never had a chance to play, but then getting something from one of the actual creators just to take it and make it more of an experience. And this last week, I was hanging out at Jeff Lee's house,
Cool.
who's the creator of Qbert, and worked on Mad Planets and Us versus Them and so many other great games. And he asked me to stop on by, and I just seeing all the stuff that he has, that it's like he kept all these great.
They're like artifacts now, though.
They really are.
Yeah.
They're like, he's showing me marquees for games that never came out, and he's got framed posters of all of his games on the wall.
Nice.
And it's there's a game of his called Exterminators, which he's telling me all sorts of stories on it. It's the cabinet itself is like an old looking house, and it used like the control setup. You're basically like squashing bugs, and he's telling me stories about how he found roly-polies in his backyard, and he filmed them and turned that into the animations. And
That's really cool.
Absolutely. He's shown me these puppets that he made for some of the other characters, and just amazing seeing some of that stuff. And we took some pictures, and we'll be making a post on the Facebook page about that pretty soon, about all the cool stuff that I got to see out there.
It's cool that you had like the foresight to hang on to this stuff. Like, if I was making something, I might not hang on to it, because to me it's just like, oh, I made it, they can see it in the game. But
Right.
to hang on to the physical object outside of the game is awesome.
It's very impressive that he did that. And just moments ago, Brian Colin was out here, creator of games like Rampage and Sarge and Xenophobe and Arch Rivals and Pigskin. And same thing. He's shown me marquees for games that weren't really put out. And just, we are so fortunate to have so many ties to these creators and stuff, and very thankful that they share and make the experience here at the arcade a deeper one than what you would get at other arcades. And it's just a very different element.
He said he was going to be by for the swap meet too, right?
Yes, he was showing me some of the stuff that he plans on bringing for the swap meet, and some artwork, and well, I'm super excited for it.
Yeah.
The swap meet, let's
might as well go there then. We got basically, that's the start of our anniversary week of events. So our anniversary week starts technically on the 9th of August, but on the 8th we're running our swap meet. It's going to starting at open. We're going to be using our tournament area, so people can bring in any game related stuff they want, arcade games, console games, retro, whatever. People can bring in and have others look through it and basically make an offer. It's going to be, if you've been to our last swap meet, we're hoping to get a lot of the same vendors to come out. I think Chris at Windy Gaming said he's going to come out.
Yes.
But then, if you just want to stop by and take a look, you can do that too. You don't have to bring stuff. It's not like you can only come in and sell stuff. But that's going to be just one of our anniversary week events. We got a bunch of stuff planned starting on the 8th all the way through the week.
Yeah.
But hit me up on Facebook if you're looking for a table. We probably going to have like 10 or 12 tables, and only like 5 are spoken for right now.
Yeah. One of which we're going to be selling our stuff. So we'll have a lot of arcade boards and control panels, and maybe some cabinets, and a lot of marquees and boards are going to be our big thing.
Cool.
Brian's going to be bringing in artwork. Jeff Lee will have artwork for sale as well, and should be interesting. Should be a lot of fun. And again, yeah, there's so many people that have come to every one, and always some. I think at the last one we picked up some Street Fighter shot glasses.
Yeah,
and,
that was cool.
Believe what else did we get? I know we got a lot of stuff from the last one.
Did we? Anything in the case?
There's a lot of stuff in that display case
that came from the last one, yeah. I think some of the retro carts came from last time. Or no, that wasn't from then. I don't remember. We got a ton of stuff there.
Yeah, that case is filling up. We just added those new Darius Burst EX.
Oh, the Eugen figurines?
Yes, the Eugen Silverhawk ships.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's... it's always, whenever you come in, make sure you check out the display cases because there's always new stuff going in. We had, but yeah, the swap meet is going to be a lot of fun, and we that entire week we're going to be doing some really cool stuff.
Yeah, we're hopefully going to have like something planned every day. Maybe not the biggest thing every day, but we haven't finalized our schedule, but what we're looking to do is doing an anniversary podcast that week as well. We're going to probably try to bring back the trivia night.
Yes.
Reigning champion James White will be challenged.
Yes.
We're going to be doing, let's see, what else? We're going to be doing some streaming.
Gamer of the Year.
Gamer of the Year is also announced that week.
That'll be announced on
Thursday?
On the 13th.
Which is, I believe, Thursday, which is the actual anniversary.
Yeah.
Which is 1 month from today exactly. Thursday, yeah. So yeah, there's going to be a ton of events going on that week. We'll put up a Facebook event schedule as soon as we finalize that all, though.
A lot of stuff going on in general. Like gearing up, leading up to that week, we have the movie Pixels. We're attending a premiere event.
Oh, at Hollywood Boulevard?
Hollywood Boulevard
Yep.
On July 25th, I believe.
Yep.
We're going to be doing that in conjunction with Namco's Level 257. So we're going to be bringing some games out there. And
do we know which games yet, or no?
No, not yet.
Okay.
It'll probably be most of the classic stuff.
Stuff that's in the movie?
Stuff that's relevant to the movie.
All right,
and
cool.
Maybe a couple other just random things we want people to check out. But yeah, a lot of events. We just this last weekend we were at G-Fest, the Godzilla convention.
Oh yeah, the Ultraman cabinet and Godzilla.
Yeah.
There. Okay.
They had myself. I've been a huge Godzilla fan since
Forever.
That was definitely one of the hardest games. It took me forever to track that down. I didn't even know that there was a Godzilla game, and then it took me about a year and a half to track that down in Japan and get it out here. So,
cool.
I still haven't even. I wasn't even able to make it out to the show, unfortunately. Just with so many things going on, but at least we got a cabinet out there to show our support, and we just love being a part of events like that.
So also last weekend was VGS, right?
Yes, Dan Icavelli, his show.
In Northbrook, was it? Or,
yes.
Yeah. I was trying to make it out there. I couldn't make it, but hopefully I can make one of his shows. It sounds like fun.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be talking with him about the next upcoming tournament, which will be Atari Week.
Cool.
We're super excited about that. So we had a lot of people that came here after the VGS. So I'm assuming it was a good show, great turnout, hopefully.
Yeah, we had a lot of people come directly from there because they sell their flyers and everything.
Yeah. Huge shout outs to Dan for running a solid show like that, and hope he keeps doing it and making it's great support for him. So
yeah, thanks, Dan. Do you want to talk about this week, like how Evo's going on, or you want to talk about your going out first? Or?
Yeah, I've actually was planning on going to Evo with Team GGA to go watch them compete in Mortal Kombat X, but I'm going to instead be going out to California to go show our support for Super Arcade, which they have a huge fighting game community out there, and unfortunately they had closed down, and they're trying to reopen, and the town that they're trying to reopen in won't issue them
like a permit, right?
Yeah, they won't issue them a permit because they don't think it's good for the community to have an arcade in town.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the big dilemmas when we were opening. Like, nobody wanted us.
Right.
And like, once we opened and showed that, hey, we're good for surrounding businesses and there's a solid community, we had those same places that turned us down now they were asking us right away, hey, why don't you come move your business over here? And it's unfortunate that there's still like a
stereotype, like,
yeah, they think arcades are bad news.
Yeah, well, it hadn't hit me until like this came up. It's like, that's a really old stereotype. Like, I just thought that was gone. That arcades bring out thugs and whatever. I thought that was like in the 80s and early 90s. That stereotype had kind of gone away.
Well, and the big problem is that it was because so many of the arcades in general went away.
Mm-hmm.
The business model, when in its prime, it was great, and there was issues. It was a different time back then.
Mm-hmm.
But the philosophies on what gaming has evolved to be huge business, and it's not what anybody thinks it is. We just had Kevin Williams out today, who's he writes the Stinger Report, which is a huge compilation of everything going on in the amusement and arcade scene, and he's been running that for a long time, and he has a new book coming out, and I think he was really impressed with what we have going on here. He had said that he hadn't seen anything like what we were doing.
Like the business model, or the sheer size of it, or
everything.
Yeah.
It was. He said that most people think so differently about it than how we've approached it.
Yeah.
And you can tell, like the Super Arcade. I don't know the guys personally, but I know how the fighting game community works. I've been out to Evo. I've talked with a lot of those guys, and it's to take a place like that away from somebody. Like, they had, when they were closing down, they ran a Kickstarter, and they met their Kickstarter goal.
Yeah. Just
because they have that much.
They have a lot of support out there.
They do.
They have a huge scene. Their Street Fighter scene is huge. They have a huge NRS scene. Like, I don't know how their games are for like other communities, but like I know those two scenes they have really big scenes there.
Yeah, and just to have that disappear, and to not give them the chance to reopen over just a lack of information, and obviously, like any town that's being approached, you have to go with the information that's out there, and there's not a lot of good information about arcades opening and the positive things that they do. But we've helped 9 arcades open right now. We're helping 13 open
like
moving
currently?
forward.
Yeah.
And it's amazing that because that information isn't out there, and people don't really shout out from the rooftops about the pluses and the benefits that having an arcade like us. Like, you don't normally hear that the restaurants, all the surrounding restaurants, have gotten so much business generated from
Right.
us.
Like, Tony's expanded their hours as soon as like our customer flow increased. I remember that.
Right.
Yeah.
The motels, like we have players traveling in from everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
The week before we had 3 people in from Brazil, and this last Saturday we had a guy that flew in from Sweden.
Yeah.
Specifically just to play here.
Yep.
And it's like, he's coming to Brookfield. He's buying food here. I don't know if he was staying in town, but it's good for Illinois. He's staying somewhere in Illinois.
Yeah, and then like during Shang Tsung's fight night, a lot of the guys coming like from out of the country were all staying at the motels here. Like, they filled up that motel; it was sold out.
Yeah.
So like it's really good for them.
Again, good for everybody. Like, it helps all the local businesses, even the ones that aren't pertinent to it. They're at least being seen by new eyes.
Right.
And who knows? So that's, for me, I think it's really important to go support Super Arcade and the fighting game community. And I know Team GGA is going they're still going to Evo and going to be fighting in full force. And
Who we having out there? We've got Dizzy
Phil,
and 16-bit PPJ. Nicolas.
Nicolas is going.
And is that it?
I think that's it.
That's it, yeah.
So I'm sure they'll do excellent.
Yep.
Very excited for them to.
Oh, is Mo going?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sure they'll do good.
Yeah. They'll go represent us well. They're always very solid with their gamer etiquette and always present themselves in a very professional manner.
Yep.
Which is so important. Which I guess actually could lead us to our next topic, which is gamer and arcade etiquette.
Yeah, it's kind of something that Pete Gores had brought up on Facebook, and he got like a lot of responses, a lot of people being passionate about, yeah, like I really dislike when this happens, or when someone starts a pinball game and only plays one ball, how that bothers me because the music keeps playing. And we thought it would be good to kind of just give an outline or talk about, at least open up the conversation about like what do you do like in a certain situation, like what is expected of you as someone just at the arcade, because I know a lot of people that come to arcade they didn't grow up in arcades, so they don't know a lot of these unwritten rules. So I think it'd be kind of good to talk about that and to see if anyone can add to anything we're talking about. Please respond in the comments or on Facebook and let us know. But I know like one of the big pet peeves that Pete Gores was talking about is crediting up a game more than you're going to play it, just because first of all, like someone walks up to the game after that, they're starting with on a ball 2 or ball 3 and not on the first one, but also like it keeps running the music and the attract mode and whatever. But I know that's a huge one, and that's a big deal also on some games, like on the floor, like not even on pinball. Like Ninja Turtles, I see people crediting up 50 credits, and
right.
You have to literally wait half an hour for those lives to die out if you want to play the game from the beginning.
They'll push the credit button more times than they do the attack button,
yeah.
And then they've lost interest and walk away.
Right.
And that's really for us, like, and we don't mind resetting machines and stuff, but it's depending on the machine, like we have in some instances have to turn a whole strip off. Which if somebody's playing those other games, we just can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like we can't risk interfering on somebody else's game, and so it's just something. If you're coming, we see kids do it a lot for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they'll just like start filling up credits, and it's just they don't
understand yet.
They just don't get it.
Yeah.
And so we do ask that people just 1 credit, play your game. If you need to continue, hit the credit button again, or just because even with the regular games, like a lot of the old Williams games, like if there's a credit in it, it won't cycle through its attract mode.
Yeah.
And not that it happens in a day, but when it'll just sit on a single screen, like a credit screen, that causes your screen burn-in.
Yeah, it'll just sit there for hours if no one presses start.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. There's a lot of like general stuff, like obviously the no running in the arcade, the no gum in the arcade.
I know that people sometimes don't understand, like if they see someone like in a game, like especially if they see like a little tripod and recording, like that's the person you don't want to interrupt while he's playing, and you don't want to press start on the player 2 controller. You don't want to start talking to him because he's obviously very serious about setting his score.
Right.
If you see someone you don't know what they're going for a score or not, just assume they are going for a score and just let them be. I've seen Duke handle it very professionally. Like he'll be very deep in his Centipede game, and someone will try to talk to him. He's like, "Oh, we can talk about this later," or he'll try to answer them, but I'm sure that's going to take away his concentration from his game.
Right.
So I definitely would recommend erring on the side of being cautious and just letting them play out their game.
With us as well. Like I know you're often going for scores, and you're here when you're not working.
Yeah.
Going for scores, and it's important to let us know if there's a huge issue and stuff, obviously, but a lot of times people just come up and we'll be in the middle of a world record run ourselves. So
yeah,
it's just one of those things to be a little mindful of, that everybody here is who's really into scores. They can be any game could be
a world record run.
A world record attempt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then just coming up and starting to talk to them in the middle, that's just not a good thing to do.
Right.
Yeah, you
Right.
don't want to break their concentration. We've been talking about getting those little like movie, stanchions or whatever they're called to kind of divide out space on the floor, but that may or may not work because we have limited floor space and you don't want to like cause a roadblock there.
Right.
But at the same time, you kind of want to draw attention to, hey, this guy's serious, and if you want to watch, it's cool because he's about to get a record now.
Right, and that's
kind
a
of cool.
very important thing.
Yeah.
Like if you can be there when a world record is being set, I think that's always, people enjoy seeing it, and it's.
Yeah, like last week, Danielle was increasing her flicky score. Like James was there, I was there, you were there. That was kind of cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's and there's. It can just take like 1 second. It's just walking up. Sometimes you take them by surprise, like they're so focused, and then even just saying hi.
Or seeing them out of the corner of your eye. Anything like that will take them out of their game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just something to be mindful of.
Mm-hmm.
And again, there's a lot of little. We always want to make this place best for the people that are here playing. Stuff like the controls.
Mm-hmm.
If you notice something wrong, like tell us right away. Like, because there's so many times that we'll hear, "Oh yeah, this has been like this forever,"
mm-hmm.
and it's like, well, what?
Yeah, like when were you going to tell us? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so important, and that's a huge part of etiquette towards the arcade. Like, we want to repair this stuff. We want to get it all working properly. Some of the little stuff we just need to know about it. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just a matter of doing it. Some of it's like so easy that like even if Seth's not here, like I might be able to take care of it if it's just a switch.
I was literally just showing Eddie,
Yeah.
like all the procedures for replacing switches and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's
not that hard. In a lot of fighting games, that's the problem. Just replace the switch and everything's good.
yeah.
Speaking of fighting games and gamer etiquette, though, that's one thing a lot of people that didn't grow up in the fighting game era, like if you get beat in a fighting game, the etiquette is next person in line plays. That's just the way it goes. But yeah, that's just kind of a lost thing where like you used to put your token up on the machine.
Right.
I kind of enjoy that. Like people would come in and see you put up your token and then take their tokens down. That was kind of a good feeling, like, oh, they know what they're in for.
Yeah.
But that's another thing that, like, since we have a lot of customers that didn't grow up in that era, they don't know that. They'll just keep playing even though there's people waiting to play.
Right.
You should, once your credit is done or you get beat by the player one or whatever, then it's the next person's turn.
Yeah. And a lot of our regulars, I know James is always really great about it. Like, he'll be out grinding on a score,
Mm-hmm.
and he'll look behind him
Mm-hmm.
and be like, "Oh, do you want to play a game?"
Yeah.
Like, he'll offer it. And we haven't really had any huge issue with that. But it's definitely something to be mindful of.
Yeah, you don't want to credit feed it to the end if there's two people waiting to play it. I mean, that's really not polite, I guess.
It depends on the game. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you're everybody's more than welcome to finish a game.
Mm-hmm.
Like Turtles, I know so many people love playing that to the end of the game.
Sure, because it would have cost you $20 just to play that one game in the arcade, so you want to see the end.
Right.
Yeah.
Um,
That's understandable.
but maybe before you flip over to Turtles in Time to play that one all the way through, you cool it off and go play some others and let some other people cycle in. And
Mm-hmm.
it's usually just little stuff like that. It goes a long way with players. And
Yeah, because we don't want anyone to feel like they can't play the game they want.
right.
We want to make sure that stuff's working for them when they want to play it, and that they don't have to wait forever to play the game they want.
Yeah.
So just be mindful if anyone's waiting.
Yeah. What other?
Other etiquettes?
Pinball machines, again,
Oh, yeah.
with starting machine and not playing through all the balls. On ball jams,
Mm-hmm.
make sure you please come get us if there's a ball jam.
Yeah. Please don't tilt the machine, or especially don't lift it.
Yeah, we had somebody lift up one of our pinball machines.
Last Sunday, yeah.
yeah,
Like
that
about a
is-
week ago. Or Friday, was it?
The pinball machines are they're very expensive, and no matter how minor it is, let us handle it, because if pinball machines get damaged, it's going to ruin it for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So just I know everybody, like, they're playing and they're like, oh, I'm just gonna
Nudge it.
I'll nudge it, and
Mhm.
they know when it's a little bit too much, and
Err on the side of caution. Let us know. You know, we can't be everywhere at once, but we try to cycle through the room there. But, you know, just let us know if your ball is stuck. You know, if we can't nudge it safely, then we're going to take off the glass. Something that a customer can't do. We'll be able to take care of it.
absolutely. As far as gamer etiquette, probably the only other thing I can think of. Let's see. Aside from, obviously,
Don't beat up controls.
don't beat up controls.
Yeah.
We've had a couple of people. There's some games where the energy behind the game gets very heavy.
You mean like track and field? Like when you're...
Well, not so much track and field. I'm more of the games where people get really loud on them, like the
like
grid
Blitz.
and Blitz.
Yeah.
And be mindful. Like, we love that people have so much fun here, but we've had, and it is a problem. It's not a problem, but it's a lot of the younger gamers get very, very loud on the grid, especially.
Yeah.
And it can be really distracting, again, to the other players when they're going after scores, or
Sure.
it's so.
Yeah, you can be hype. You can, you know, whatever, high five. Just try not to curse and try not to be too loud.
Yeah, cursing would be another thing.
Cursing applies to everyone. Yeah.
Cursing, and sometimes that'll lead to the frustration on the machines, where we'll occasionally hear somebody pound on something, and then we have to go out and see who's doing what.
Yeah. It's never fun. It's not a fun conversation to have. You know, we understand it's frustrating. You missed your score, you missed your goal, but please don't take it out on the machine.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's important that the machines don't get damaged, just because we have 475 machines to maintain and keep up and running, and it's the less we have to fix, the better.
Yep.
But in on that note, I guess we can discuss the saying that we have 475 machines. We actually have room for a 476th machine.
We got room for one more.
We have room for one more, but I don't know what it should be. It's
It can be whatever we want.
it can be. Well, and I love hearing what people want us to put up. This is always the predicament. We have our vault of games. It's right around 100 games. We just got something in from Seattle, that another very, very cool Bally Midway game, pretty rare. We also have stuff coming from Japan.
Yeah.
It is very good.
It's not car parts.
It is not car parts.
It's arcade games. Okay.
It's bigger than a full car. We have 2 cabinets in our back room. We have a Star Wars pod racer.
Yep.
Sitting in our back room.
Yeah, it's disassembled, just sitting there.
It's disassembled, just sitting there. We have some prototype game. We have, what else did we get in recently? We just got in Rastan 3, Warrior Blade.
Is that better than the first one? Is it just as cheesy?
It's different. It's more like Golden Axe, where you can move around in the environment. There's
so it's not
where
it's not just a plane. You're not just stuck on the 2D plane.
There's a Z-axis to how you move, and that's a super rare game. I've never seen it for sale. There was one guy that had a board, and he was like, I had bought our Lunar Lander and our Space Harrier from him.
Yeah.
2 rare games.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do you have this game? And he's like, yeah, I got the board for that. And I'm like, come on, sell it to me. And he's like, absolutely not. He's like, that will go to the grave with me. That he would never part with.
Well, then no one can play it if it goes to the grave with him.
That's some collectors, they don't care.
I get that. I get that.
That's fine for them, but we like getting games to share with people, and one popped up on auction in Japan.
Yeah.
And we got it.
Cool.
It's a.
Oh, didn't you say it was like a 3 monitor?
It's 3 monitors, like the original Darius was.
Like it's in the style of like a reflected screen on both sides, like
Yes.
Ninja Warriors.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's and again, like, how amazing is that?
Mhm.
But I don't know if we have the space for that one.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's the dilemma of, I don't want to tell everybody what we have in the vaults.
So they're gonna want to play it.
They're gonna want to play it. Like, the stuff that we have in our vaults is just so amazing. Like, it's just all rare. It's all really good. It's there's stuff that people have requested.
We just need the space.
It's just about space.
Yeah.
And I've been talking again with our landlord. I think what our current goal is going to be is, with the space that we have and doing 2-in-1s and getting all the games that aren't on, like, they're on the floor but not actively working on the floor, stuff like Star Trek and Galaxy Force 2 and Death Race, all the stuff like that, we'll be able to get up to 500 games.
Wow.
And then we are going to be, I don't have any more tricks. I can't knock down our back room anymore.
No more wizardry.
There's no more wizardry or tricks to be had.
All right.
I don't want to do the expansion area like we did before, where it was only open at certain times, because that just didn't work right.
Yeah, it kind of left customers alienated when they heard we had a game, but it was only in the expansion, and we had someone just working by themselves. It was kind of an issue.
Yeah.
But the way it is now, like, everyone can get at everything, and it works really well that way.
Yeah. So I've been in talks again with the building, the place in between. I've been in talk with the landlord a lot, and hopefully that opportunity will present itself again. Maybe we'll be re-announcing we've been pretty quiet with our fundraiser, and maybe it's time to redo a Kickstarter.
Cool.
I think with the money that we got in from the fundraiser, we did a tremendous amount.
Yeah, we added a bunch of more games with that space.
We brought 70 games from over here, and that was right when we had 400 games.
Mm-hmm.
So we've put up, with the expansion, we got the 70 games over here on the main floor,
Mm-hmm.
and we're at 475 now. So it's essentially like putting up 150 games on the arcade floor.
Yeah.
So I think with the amount of money that we raised, we did 3 building expansions, which was pretty monumentous. So hopefully we'll have to look at that. We'll probably be announcing something right around the time of the year anniversary.
Cool.
So it'll be interesting when that rolls around. We just cannot wait to we just did our Mississippi trip.
Mm-hmm.
And huge shout outs to Jeremy from Prince Arcades for going down to Mississippi with us, and managed to pick up, while we don't have room to put up a bunch of new games, it didn't stop me from buying a few new games,
Mm-hmm.
but we were able to get some cabinet upgrades.
Oh yeah, the Ghosts and Goblins.
That just
was that before then?
That was before that.
Yeah, that's right. That came out. That looks awesome.
Yes, it's been knowing that we've been limited on space. I've been trying to do any cabinet upgrades I can do, and we were doing. That was really the purpose of going to Mississippi, was to just focus on cabinet upgrades, just because we don't have the space to put new games.
Right, just making ours look as good as they can.
Yeah. So we have a bunch of them in the works, where the first one that we're starting that we got from Mississippi was Arch Rivals.
Mm-hmm.
We just brought that over today from storage, so that'll be going up. And
Was that Strider Bezel from Mississippi?
Strider Bezel was from Mississippi as well.
That looks awesome.
Yeah, there's going to be doing an upgrade on our Smash TV cabinet as well, and that in turn will help upgrade our Total Carnage cabinet. So definitely some good upgrades going on over the next couple of weeks.
Cool.
But yeah, as far as getting back to the one game.
Yeah. Well, we can present the audience with the choice, I guess.
Yeah. Let's see. What would you throw out? You know, some of it's
I don't know if I
awesome
should
that
not say some of these games because I don't know if they're public knowledge or not.
most of them aren't. I don't even know if like you guys have the complete list of what's in the vaults.
Yeah. Any more horizontal shoot 'em ups I'd be okay with. I, I don't know. Anything Konami probably would be good.
We have a good amount of Konami stuff. I know we had let it be known that we have a Parodius game.
Yes, that would be awesome. I would like to see that.
And I know I've talked a little bit about a new Castlevania game coming in.
Yep.
But yeah, let us know from the games that you know that we have, the stuff that we've let slip that isn't already in a spot, like the Darius cabinet. That'll be up hopefully soon.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not going to fill this one spot because that's already on the floor.
It's already in the shmup room right by the door there.
Yep.
Yeah.
But Pod Racer, we did just pick up a Mr. Doo's Wild Ride and a Mr. Doo's Castle.
Oh, okay.
That's still in the back room.
Yeah.
Should I let everybody know what we got in from Seattle?
Is that the secret wrapped one?
The secret wrapped one that's
Yeah.
sitting at the front. We managed to pick up Crater Raider, which is extremely rare.
Yeah.
Great game. It popped up out in Seattle, and Jeremy, from Prince Arcades, set it all up, and there was somebody looking for. They were selling it in. They were asking like several $1,000s for it.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad price. Like somebody would pay that for it, but we like to get our deals here, and this one we found at a fraction of that. So
Nice.
It's in really nice shape. I got to fix one thing on it, and that'll be good. So, let's hear it. Crater Raider, Pod Racer, Mr. Do,
Or something else.
or something else.
Yeah.
So,
Cool. What else do we have coming up? Oh, at the end of anniversary week, we have our Us versus Them event.
Yes. James White has been playing so much Us versus Them lately, and huge shout outs to him for not only getting the world record but finishing the entire game.
Yeah, he got
on
the
credit.
one credit clear. He's almost at 600,000. Like his latest score yesterday or Saturday was like 590 something. It's pretty crazy.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So we can't. What we are looking to do, I've been in touch with Jeff Lee and Warren Davis and Dennis Nordman, who all worked on the game, and we hope to have them out for a big Us versus Them event.
Nice.
And very excited for that. Like those games, the stories that you hear from those guys are just so awesome. And
Like the stories about the production of the game?
Yeah.
Those are great stories.
They really are, especially one it's like live actors. It's filmed. It's like the Mortal Kombat guys. You talk to those guys and they reminisce about how things were done and why they were done in a certain way. And it's like it's so cool to get that perspective on it.
Mm-hmm.
That'll definitely be a very fun event.
So I know that's we're going to be doing that near the end of the anniversary week, right?
Yeah, tentatively it's set for August 15th.
Okay.
So we'll have to see how that all plays out and if we can get it on that date. So, but
Okay.
it'll definitely be a lot of fun. Till then, I know James has been streaming.
Yep.
We have a new capture setup, so we're a couple of days out from being back doing direct capture from the arcades. So watch our streams just for.
Yeah, follow our Twitch channel. You'll get notified every time we go live with an email, and
What is our Twitch channel?
it's twitch.tv/Galloping Ghost Arcade. So you can just type in Galloping Ghost Arcade, in Twitch, and it'll come up. No spaces. Yeah, we have our regular, streams for our fighting game stuff. Sunday nights we do the Smash Brothers for Smash 4. Thursdays they stream Mortal Kombat X, and Fridays we've been streaming lately. They've been doing Guilty Gear, but it's whatever they feel like on anime night.
Yeah. Well, it's yeah. Hopefully, once it was always a little disappointing when we had to go back to the camera view
Right.
of our streams, but we want to really make sure that that gets back up to top quality, and hopefully we'll have a lot more of our regulars in streaming more often.
Yeah, I kind of miss that.
Yeah.
Yeah, lately it's just been James. Duke streamed. No, not. He usually records himself on the tripods, but
Yeah.
sometimes he streams. But yeah, I mean, if anyone wants to stream, just let us know beforehand. We can get the camera and everything ready.
I know Danielle and John Munkus have been talking about doing a dual flicky stream.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Like duel versus.
Well,
Like they're fighting.
dual multi.
Okay.
So yeah, that would be cool, and we definitely. I can't wait. I love watching the streams myself. It's always good to have that, like the interaction of the people like in the chat and everything. And
It's exciting to see like a new Scorby set like live. It's very different to watch a video later of it, but to have to hear the player reacting in the moment is pretty cool, I think.
for sure.
Yeah.
But definitely good to have the video of it.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Right.
But so yeah, that'll be coming up probably in the next week. Just me and Brandon need to work on a little more of the hardware, and all the art's ready, so we should
nice.
be improving things a great deal again very soon.
Maybe I'll stream some Primal Rage 2 or Shmup or something. I don't know.
That'd be excellent.
Yeah.
I know people were requesting video of the cabinet so they could get a better look at it instead of just the pictures.
For Primal Rage?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's I guess about it for this week. Again, with the Super Arcade thing, if there's a petition on change.org.
Yeah, we'll link that in the video description and on Facebook, but if you haven't signed yet, please sign it.
Yeah, I think we still need a few hundred more signatures. That'll really help. And again, hopefully, just talking to the city about the community that we've grown here. Hopefully, they'll let them reopen. So hopefully, it'll do some good.
Yep. Cool. Thanks everyone for listening. Anything else you wanted to cover? Or?
No, I guess that's about it. So,
Cool.
Thanks everybody.
Yep. This is Pete over at Galloping Ghost Arcade, Han, on the forums. But thanks everyone for listening. We'll talk to you next time.
Thanks everybody.